Are you working on something very specific with your mechanics then? No, but what we're working on is our subconscious has this ability to predict where that ball is going to go before the pitcher releases it. You face a curveball pitcher enough times and you're going to start to understand, okay, something about this is telling me it's a curveball. Something about this is telling me it's a fastball, whatever that may be. And the more times we can see live pitching, it's almost like creating positive cachet in your brain. My hitting coach used to tell me that all the time when I was growing up. On the internet, when you get cachet that builds up, it's the first time you go to an internet site, it might be a little slower, but the next time you go, because it's already been there, boom, it gets there faster. And so when you see pitching, live pitching over and over again, you're getting your sequencing and your rhythm intact. You're getting used to seeing those spins. You're getting used to seeing that movement. Maybe you don't get there that quickly with your bat the first time. Maybe it doesn't register that quickly the first time, but the more times you see it, that positive cachet builds up. You get there quicker and quicker every single time.
Okay, so plane adaptation, pitch speed decrease, pitch speed increase, and then live pitching. That's the order. The base is plane adaptation. So do you start right there every time? Does it depend on the hitter?
It can almost be like an evaluation, right? I'm
Okay.
going through different types of, and every coach is going to have like certain things they do with a hitter that says, okay, they, like an alarm will go off and they'll be like, why aren't they getting this? Why am I throwing outside over and over again? They're just not hitting it, right? So as I'm going through that first lesson, I'm almost using this as a little eval where I'm like, cool, they completely understand how to adapt from plane to plane. I'm throwing slow. They're crushing that. I throw fast. All of a sudden things start to break down. Maybe we start there. I'm basically trying to see where am I going at. I'm not going to get them. It's very rare that I can get an accurate read off of where they're at if I just throw them at live pitching, because we can have a lot of things happen during live pitching that has sometimes nothing to do with their actual swing. And we try to start at the base and we work our way up and we start to see, okay, this is our sweet spot where we're going to live, where we can make the most effective changes out of this hitter.
Okay, so how does this apply? The left side of the pyramid, all the things that we just mentioned. Again, I'll say it again: plane adaptation, pitch speed decrease, pitch speed increase, and then live pitching. How does this pyramid, this left side of the pyramid, how does that apply both to softball and baseball? What are the key similarities, but what are also some of the differences and how you apply this timing progression?
Sure. I think timing is, let's put it this way. You could have this beautiful swing that has 0 holes in it, and then you can't time the ball up at all. Maybe you're blind. Maybe you have 2D vision. Maybe you haven't, you don't have your contacts in that day. So our swing isn't helping us when we actually can't time that pitch up for whatever reason. So this is, of course, you need them to work in tandem with each other. You could have really great timing, but a ton of holes in your mechanics that hold you back. But especially when we get into season, especially when we get to the point of we're leaving off season, timing becomes the most important aspect that I think we need to focus on. And that is for both baseball and softball. I think where things really start to change a little bit and start to differ is it's honestly, I don't even know if it's a baseball softball difference. It's asking yourself, why are we looking at this in the first place? Typically, softball in this area is not seeing very good pitching. So I'm living with most of my high school hitters in the speed decrease area because they are hyped up, they're ready to swing, and then they're seeing very non-competitive softball pitching. Baseball pitching, on the other hand, we just had 25 scouts in the building yesterday looking at some local players. So we have some really live arms. A lot of my baseball hitters, I'm trying to get them through this pitch speed decrease phase in order to get them to the point where they can really see some fast pitching.
Right.
Because what I don't want them doing, I don't want them feeling like they have to completely speed up their entire sequence because they never learned how to properly progress it. And that's what you get with speed decrease, right? You properly progress my timing, my wait now, my slow to fast. And then you're actually able to adjust that faster pitching. We're cranking up the pitching machine a little bit more. We're adding some constraints to make the pitch seem a little faster. So that's really honestly probably the difference that I'm seeing, where my softball girls, I'll wait a little longer to get to that phase right before they go into their travel ball season.
Oh, so what if people watching the show could see my face? I'm very in tune. I look very angry, but I'm very in tune with what I'm looking at here. And listening, of course. What if you can skip levels? What if they're more advanced and you don't have to work on plane adaptation? You can just go almost right to pitch speed increase and then to live pitching, right? What if
100%.
they're
Yeah.
advanced? They could do that.
Yeah. And what I'll do is so my advanced hitters I know for that day we are working on pitch speed increase.
Mhm.
I might have one warm-up drill from playing adaptation, one warm-up drill from speed decrease, and then we're kind of going to the bulk of our session is living in that speed increase phase, let's say. But you know, in the same breath too, you're gonna get to know your hitter a ton. You're gonna know that there might be one or two things that they need to add to their warm up in order to get them feeling comfortable, confident, getting their swing warmed up to where it needs to be. So I think, you know, and for coaches too. So really jumping ahead, but what I did to develop my library to this, I was like, all right, I have all these drills. Now I have this structure. And I looked at plane adaptation and I said, okay, what's the very first drill I would do if I was trying to teach someone inside, outside, high, low, like how to hit balls in different planes. And I kept doing that. I said, okay, well, what would the next drill be? What would the next drill be? And I essentially came up with 4 levels that have 16 drills in each level. So every single segment of this pyramid has 4 levels and then has those 16 drills within. So it's not to say that we need every hitter is not going to need all 512 drills that exist in this library. That's insane.
No kidding. Yeah.
The idea is that every hitter is going to be completely different, whether that is within their given day, whether that's post injury. You have a level 4 hitter that needs to maybe go to some more basic level 1 and level 2 type swings. You have a really young hitter who's not advanced yet and working in that level 1 range, whatever that may be. It's trying to figure out what works best for each hitter. So 100%, like playing adaptation, we're going right into pitch speed increase, but we're still operating in level 1 of pitch speed increase because this individual's having a tough time. And all I care about is, can we get to that level 4 drill with confidence and with precision and really just the more advanced drills that exist within there.